Today we're going to be talking about application development on Whop. Whop.com is a place where you can make money online in many different ways. One of the ways that I made money on Whop is by creating an app and letting other people use it. I've created a presentation that will teach you exactly how you can build your own app and how to actually make money off of your app. I'm also going to show you an example of one of the apps that I have built later into this video, and I'm also going to be showing you how much money that app has made me so far. So if you like this idea, let's go ahead and jump into the video for a real life example. So first, let's talk about how to actually make money with your apps. The first thing that you're going to have to understand is that building apps doesn't get you paid, unfortunately. I wish it was like that, but that's not the case. You have to learn how to sell your app, and you have to learn how to sell it properly. All these things are very important when you create an app. So I had these little two steps here. You first have to know how to sell. The second thing you have to do is learn how to create apps. And you'll be miles and miles ahead of everybody else who's trying to learn how to make money online. Now, you can sell other things. You don't have to necessarily create apps, but I talk a lot about how to make money online through my YouTube channel. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about how to actually build your app and make money doing it. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find a profitable idea. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to realize that the idea has to solve some sort of problem. Okay, a good example of this is Cal AI. Cal AI is an application that basically counts your calories for you by just you snapping a picture of your food. That's it. And it solves a problem for people, right? People might be lazy. They don't want to count their calories. Cal AI solves that. The next thing to do is some market research. Think if there's competitors or not. So for example, if you're going to create a clone to Cal AI, you're probably not going to make any money whatsoever because there's too many competitors already, right? Cal AI existed a few years ago. Then competitors came into the space. Then you have every AI influencer creating the same thing. So it doesn't really make sense to jump into that category. But you have to find a problem. You have to do your research. You have to find competitors if they do exist. And you have to see what is your unique advantage. The next point is once you decide what you're going to do, you're going to have to plan and design. And then you're going to have to build your MVP and then finally launch. Now, these 3 steps right here, these steps 3 to 5, is just the simple part of building your app. And in today's world, it's more simple than ever before. If you head over to selfmadefreedom.org, I have a guide on exactly how I made money with apps. And in fact, I've been selling digital products for years, but the thing that has helped me gain financial freedom is making money with applications, with software. And the more software I built, the more money I have made over time. But once again, you have to know how to sell and you have to know how to build your apps. And of course, we teach you that at selfmadefreedom.com. So if you're interested in that, check it out. However, after you build your app, you're going to monetize and scale. Very simple. Now, how are you actually going to make money off of your app? This is the thing that nobody talks about. Well, you could do a few different ways. The first way you could do is a paid download, right? And there's all kinds of different apps. You have Chrome extensions, you have web applications, you have iPhone applications, you even have Whop applications. In this case, I'm going to be showing you an example later into this video of my Whop app that has made me money, and you guys are going to see the actual application. You can do a subscription model, so maybe it doesn't cost money to get access to the app, but you're going to charge people monthly or yearly. The next thing is you can do in-app purchases, and you could think of like different games that do this, right? Because an app can be a game where people can buy skins in the game, or they can buy, cheats or whatever it might be. That is an in-app purchase. Another one is in-app ads. This is a very powerful tool to be able to make you money because whether it's a web app or any other application, what can happen here is that you are not necessarily charging anybody access to the application, but they get access for free and you get paid because of the ads. The next way is a B2B service type of income source generator, which is, let's say you create an app for some sort of like a a neighborhood app, right? Well, you can get a commission for every single app or person on there that advertises their business. That's a perfect example. Affiliate and partnerships app. You can create an app that's completely for free to people to access, and you can make money through affiliate marketing because of it. Those are just some of the different ways that you can monetize your app, and we can go deeper in future videos talking about those things, but those are different ways that you can make money with your app and take things to the next level. I have a few tips for success, but we're going to go over that after I show you the actual application. So first, let me go ahead and head over to Whop.com so I can show you the app that I've built on there. So here is one of my applications that I have built on Whop. Let me go ahead and turn this little setting off for my blur. However, what this application does is it's a meta generator. You can see how much we charge. For 1,000 credits, $10. For 5,000 credits, $50. And for $100, we have 10,000 credits. And that is how I make money. So if you click on any of these buy buttons, that will open up a payment portal. So for example, let's go ahead and click on this. And you can see this is just how a user would use it. You can see they can pay $50 for our application here, and they will get 1,000 credits. We actually have to fix that terminology. It's not 1,000 credits, but you can see here that's essentially what it is. All right, and you can see I abandoned the cart, the payment, but that's how it works. Now, what does this app actually do? It generates title ideas, it generates descriptions, ideas, and tags for YouTube videos, and it also generates thumbnails. So let me give you a quick example, and let's go ahead and create a thumbnail, for example, for this YouTube video. So let me go ahead and do that. So you can see here, I set up a title that says how to make money building Whop apps. I'm going to select the different style of thumbnail that I want. So the user would select any kind of buttons here. So in my case, I'm going to be selecting viral and bright. I'm also going to be selecting bright and vibrant here. I'm going to leave the text optional, and I'm also going to drag and drop a picture of myself to show myself in the thumbnail. Okay, so I just attached a picture of myself here back from my Bali trip, and it was a great trip. So here we have a picture of myself. I'm also going to ask it to create a sales deck. Okay, so you can see here what I've done so far. I've added the logo of my app. I've added the $10,000 proof of my sales. This is an award that you get in Whop once you actually cross $10,000. A lot of people don't get that, but once you do cross over 10,000, I think you're in the top like 8% or something. And this is a picture of me. And of course I have my settings here, and I'm going to hit generate thumbnail. And in a matter of seconds, this thumbnail will be generated. Now guys, this is the software that I created for customers on Whop to be able to use to pay me. So everything that I'm doing right now, you're seeing how the app works in real time. All right, so I built this app. It's a nice app, I would say. It's nothing too complicated. I feel like, most people will be able to build it, especially if you're interested, if you want to learn how to build apps. Like I said, I've built a whole course on that. But let's go ahead and wait for this thumbnail to be generated just so I can show you how this app works. Okay, I'm about to see the app thumbnail for the first time. There we go. That's my picture. This is Whop. Okay, and here we have a picture of some dashboard of some sales, and this is a great thumbnail. I'll actually use this for my video today. Now that you guys have actually seen my app, let me take you into my finances so I can show you how much money I made on the actual app. So this is my Whop dashboard. You can see we haven't made any money today. Yesterday we made $9.99. I'm going to go ahead and select here my all-time date on how much money I made. You can see I made $10,000, 589. You can see the chart here on the amount of money. In the last 12 months, you can see my chart. It kind of shot up recently because I have been working a little bit harder on it since July. And you can see we made $2,771 in July. And you can see we're still in July, so there's a whole nother week to July. But on average, I'll average anywhere from 300 and some change to 600 and some change on my Whop for my net revenue. You can see here my MRR is $693, and 37 cents. You can also see my stats of how much was paid to me, how much failed, how much canceled, how much refunded, and yeah, pretty much it. So my churn rate, you can see my successful payments, you can see my ARR, you can see pretty much everything here, which is very nice. Okay, so now that you guys see how much money I made on this application of 10,425 in the last 12 months and 10,589 total since the very beginning, now let's go ahead and head back and talk about how you could actually make this thing happen. So there's some tips for success. You can focus on value. You got to start small. You got to listen to users. You got to stay consistent, and you got to have long-term thinking. Let me explain all of these very, very quickly. I don't want to waste any of your time. So focus on value, meaning, remember that tip that we said in the beginning where you have to solve a real problem? That's the value. Nobody's going to purchase your app or use your app, and it's not going to blow up if you're offering it for free to people if it doesn't come with any kind of real value. The next thing is you're going to start small. So you can start off with just one feature, like you guys saw my app, that's a small app, right? It only has 3 features. You can start off with one small feature, see how people react to it. Okay. Next, listen to users. Users are going to tell you what they want. They're going to tell you what features they need. And guess what? Your users are the ones that pay you monthly. They're the ones that help you make you money. So you're going to have to listen to them, and you're going to have to build yourself up. Now, don't get me wrong, the customer is not always right, but you're going to have to work towards that. And then finally, you're going to have long-term thinking with your app by building not just one app, but multiple apps, many apps that are going to bring you income over a very long period of time, because one app is just not going to get the job done. A lot of the times you're going to have to diversify your income. And that's something I'm big on. I talk about that in my blog posts. If you go to my website, selfmadefreedom.com, and you go over here to my blog, I have a few different blog posts. I promise I will create more. However, I do talk about diversification. I believe I talk about it in my blog post here, how I became financially free selling digital products. So if that video was beneficial to you, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see more app building amazingness, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And of course, if you need that one-on-one help, check out my courses. I have 2 courses: how to make money with apps, building apps, and of course, CIA selling. So if you need to learn how to build an app, you want to learn everything around app building, check out my course for that, and check out how to learn and sell like Agent 007 for the CIA selling course, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and see you soon.